Have you ever seen a shadow linger in the corner of your eye? Seen a flashing light dart across the sky? Have you ever wished upon a candle to make your wish come true? I'm sure you've told a haunted tale or two. Are you interested in learning the pagan ways? Witchcraft, grimoires, candles await. Have you ever seen the living dead and stood still instead of fled? Cryptics are fun, but the universe has our eye. The stars align, shows us our signs, and we're here to discuss the divine. Welcome to Moon Brews, a supernatural podcast, hosted by yours truly, Haley.
Canadian Creepies is recorded on the traditional lands of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples, under the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. These lands and waters have been cared for since long before Canada existed, and they remain deeply important to Indigenous communities today. As we tell stories about darkness, injustice, and memory, I want to acknowledge the very real histories of colonization, violence, and erasure that Indigenous peoples continue to endure. A land acknowledgement can't undo that harm, but it is a reminder to keep listening, learning, and supporting in truth and reconciliation in meaningful ways. We share these stories not to forget, but to shine light, always with respect for peoples and nations whose land we live on. Canadian Creepies covers true crime, dark history, and disturbing events. Some episodes may include graphic descriptions or sensitive subject matter. We do our best to handle every story with care and respect for those affected. That said, we sometimes use humor and sarcasm as a way to process heavy content, never to disrespect victims, survivors, or their families. Listener discretion is advised. Before we begin, a brief content note. This episode discusses historical punishments under Canadian law, including public shaming, corporal punishment, and capital sentences. While we won't linger on graphic detail, some of the material may still be unsettling. Today's episode looks back at how punishment has been used in Canada's legal history, not just as a response to crime, but as a reflection of power, morality, and control. We'll be talking about punishments that were once legal and accepted. Some of them are bizarre, some are cruel, some feel so absurd by today's standards that they almost sound fictional, but they were not. This episode is not about mocking victims, and it's not about laughing at the suffering. The people who were punished under these laws were real people, often from marginalized communities, and the consequences they faced were lasting. What this episode is about is how law has historically been used to enforce social norms, how punishment wasn't always about justice or safety, but about shame, obedience, and reinforcing who had authority and who didn't. Canada has a reputation for being polite, reasonable, and restrained, but our legal history tells a more complicated story. Because for a long time, our laws reflected fear, moral panic, and control far more than compassion. And today, my friends and listeners and creepos, we have Kyle joining us today. Hi, Kyle.
Hi.
For those of you who don't know, Kyle is my partner.
Yes, this is true.
That's true. We live together. He also edits the podcast.
I sure do.
And he hops in when he's needed.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
He's also in a wonderful band called the Feverish Lemons.
Oh, we're plugging my band.
We got to plug the band. So tell me what you have a new album coming out or working on. You're recording a new album. Sorry.
That's true. That's true. We have an EP that's already out on Spotify.
What's it called and how can you find it?
It's called How to Kiss. And if you look up Feverish Lemons on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube or any of the good stuff, you'll find it.
Yeah. And it's like indie, alternative.
Yes.
Rock?
Yep, those things. I would say those things. And then we are recording an album currently in the home studio. Bunch of songs.
This very studio that we're recording this podcast in right now.
That's right.
Dual purpose.
Doubles as a music studio.
That's right. Doubles. It's not that first. It's that second. I am still reading, well, because I've been keeping my listeners up to date on what I'm reading.
Okay.
Still reading Witches of New York. Still a great book.
Awesome.
And something new, and for those of you who don't know, Witches of New York is written by Amy McKay. She's a Canadian author.
Oh, brilliant.
It was written in the 70s. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, okay, I'll give my book update as well.
Please.
The most recent thing that I was given, most recent book I was given was a Levon Helm book. Wonderful, wonderful book. I have not started reading it. I have started reading my adult ADHD book. I have not finished that either, which I find, I think it's amusing. I think there's something funny about, they diagnosed me with ADHD and then they gave me a book about it.
Yeah, yeah. And they said, read about it.
And I was like, you better believe I'm going to read this.
Now it's a coffee table book.
Yeah, maybe. I got a little into it, and then I got distracted.
Sorry.
Okay. I know the listeners were waiting for that.
They're waiting. They really needed to know how you were doing on your books.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so something new I'm going to start doing are sources.
Yes.
Sources. And I'm going to say them because some podcasts I really respect and listen to name their sources right off the bat. So I'm going to do the same thing now. Sources for this episode include research from the Canadian Encyclopedia, Library and Archives Canada, and historical materials from the Department of Justice Canada. We also drew on the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada, including its final report and calls to action, along with Indigenous legal scholarship examining colonial punishment and criminalization. Additional context comes from academic research on criminal law, punishment, and social control in Canada, including works on public shaming, corporal punishment, gendered sentencing, and the long-term impacts of incarceration. Those are my sources.
Very good.
Thank you.
Excellent.
And Kyle's going to start it off.
I sure am. Okay. So, why punishment gets weird?
Yeah, why does it get weird?
Why does it get weird?
Why is it not about rehabilitation? You know?
Yeah. Historically, it has not been. Early Canadian law did not develop in isolation. It was inherited and imposed, largely shaped by British common law, Christian religious moral codes, and colonial authority structures.
And that is why I like to say on this podcast, separation of church and state.
Yes.
Thank you. Please
Yes.
continue.
Valerie came up with that phrase.
I invented it. Don't clip that.
These systems were less concerned with individual harm and more concerned with maintaining order, enforcing obedience, protecting those already in power. It sounded like I was going to say something else, but that was it.
Oh, okay. So yes, and that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was based off monarchy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we just followed. We've talked about Rupert's land, Daddy's land on this on this podcast, and about Hudson's Bay, and about how the people in England were basically like, "Hey, that's unexplored land. Let's go there and take it for our own."
Yeah. Age-old story.
And then they were gifting it, and then the monarchy and the royalty in England were just gifting land to their sons and weirdos.
Yeah.
And saying, "Do with it what you wish."
Yeah. That's the weirdness of colonialism.
Right, and it's that old adage, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
That's right. Spider-Man. I'm just kidding. That's with responsibility. Great responsibility.
Yeah.
That's great.
But I was thinking of Batman. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. That's what I was thinking of.
They all apply here.
They do.
They all apply here. Punishment in early Canada was not just a response to crime. It was also a tool meant to shame individuals publicly, deter others through fear, and reinforce social hierarchies.
And that's like what it in just to like in The Handmaid's Tale. Mm-hmm. That's what they do.
Right.
With that.
Oh, yeah.
Cutting off the fingers and the limbs.
Yeah,
and the
quite
public
extreme,
hangings. Yeah.
Yeah. But like not unrealistic.
Yeah. Right?
You know? Yeah. Man, yeah. Handmaid's Tale. So good. So, like, heavy
Yeah.
and intense.
So heavy.
I know that's not what we're talking about, but we did sort of talk about that on here.
We did sort of, and yeah, just to loop back to Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Well, The Testaments is coming
Right.
out in April, maybe
my
March or
goodness.
April, I think. Could be later than that.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. That's all for today. Punishments in Canada.
Punishments in Canada. Where was I? Many punishments were designed to be visible, humiliating, memorable.
And I'm sure as you say that, you can probably think of some examples, and we are going to go through some.
Absolutely.
We're not going to go through a list of torture devices.
No.
I think Morbid did a great episode on that, though.
Oh, nice. That's another good plug. Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, like they were inherently these things, you know, and meant to be humiliating. It's just like shaming people
and terrifying. And as humans, we don't, shame is such a huge, like, emotion. Mm-hmm. Huge emotion.
Huge.
Yeah.
It rules and cripples a lot of people too.
Serial killers.
Myself included.
And me.
No.
But we're not serial killers.
We're not serial killers.
We're crippled by shame.
That's right. Too crippled by shame to even kill.
That's right. Don't clip that.
Don't clip it. Don't clip it. I'm only here sometimes. It's going so well.
Please continue.
Proper behavior was narrowly defined.
Ooh, yeah, so it had to be like certain set of, you had to.
Proper behavior.
I hate that. I swear I was killed by not acting proper in a past life.
I believe it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. You know who's acting very proper?
Daisy.
She's being good. Proper behavior was narrowly defined based on a European Christian norms, rooted in patriarchy and colonial values, policed more harshly than when violated by women, poor people, indigenous people, racialized communities. When punishments feel excessive or absurd by modern standards, it's often because they were never really about the act itself. They were about who committed it.
Yep. Because a person of royalty could probably commit the same crime as an indigenous person and feel no
backlash.
No backlash at all.
Yeah. It's like it's all good when you do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so, you know, what do these punishments reveal about who society was trying to control and why?
I'll take trying to control women and indigenous and marginalized people for 500, Alex. Thank you.
Ooh, I'm sorry. It was what is women?
Oh.
Is that how that goes? I don't even think I've seen the show. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about public shaming and spectacle. Public punishment was a cornerstone of early Canadian justice. I'm reading something different than what you're seeing there.
That makes sense.
Yeah. These punishments were meant to be seen, remembered, and feared. Justice was performed publicly, and punishment doubled as a warning to the community, and shame was considered corrective. Oof. No wonder. And that, even like that would like start, we all come from generational trauma if you think about it. But anyway. Some common forms of public shaming, and I'm sure this is what first came to everybody's mind, were the pillory and stocks. Used in Canadian settlements, especially in the 18th and 19th centuries, offenders were restrained in public spaces and exposed to ridicule, insults, and sometimes physical harm from onlookers. So you were just stuck with your head and your arms in the holes.
Yeah.
And then people would just, ugh.
The classic.
I hate that. That's terrifying.
Tomatoes?
Oh.
Yeah.
There was also public whipping.
No thanks.
A legal sentence under colonial and early Canadian law, which was often carried out in public squares or near courthouses.
Man.
And it was framed as both punishment and deterrence.
Oh, man. Do you have a year or a date for when this was going on?
No.
Not to derail you, but I'm just curious about it now.
It was just like when the settlers first came over.
Yeah. Early time.
Yeah, they just followed British law or French law. Because
Right.
Canada split into, the British and the French.
Right. Yep.
And the Indigenous.
Yeah.
There were forced public apologies or signage. So individuals were compelled to confess publicly, wear signs describing their offense, and stand in visible locations as a form of moral correction. Oh my God. This guy sucks.
Dunce cap style.
That is, yeah, totally.
Wow.
Public shaming, as we've said, disproportionately affected poor people, women, Indigenous people, enslaved or formerly enslaved people, and those without social or political power. Respectability played a role, and those with status were more likely to receive private or lesser penalties. Shame was weaponized against those already marginalized.
Yeah.
That really sucks.
Yeah.
Really, but you can see how, our systems shaped into what they are today, and how marginalized people are still disproportionately affected.
Absolutely. No, it's still the same thing.
Yeah.
It's more like garish then, but it's still,
Yeah.
same. It's just a different set of punishments, but it's,
That's right. They also thought humiliation mattered more than rehabilitation.
dumb.
They were dumb. They were really dumb.
That's dumb.
They didn't shower.
Dumb also.
They didn't shower. They pooped inside.
Stinks.
Bad. Ugh. So the goal was not reintegration. It was moral enforcement, social control, and reinforcing norms through fear. Rehabilitation was not yet a legal priority, and it still isn't today. Public punishment reinforced obedience, hierarchy, and authority of the state and church. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. Not the worst thing I've ever heard, but it's up there. These practices have began to fade in the 19th century due to growing discomfort with public cruelty.
Yeah.
I'm glad we evolved. I'm glad we were like, you know what? We don't need to see people hang.
Yeah. You know what? I don't want to see that.
Guess what? I don't want to yell at some guy in the square
Yeah.
and spit on him and stuff. Shifts towards and there were shifts towards incarceration as punishment and changing ideas about privacy and human dignity. Love that. This was a good way to go. Decline was uneven. Some practices lingered longer in rural areas, and others remained legal even after falling out of common use. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
The philosophy changed. Punishment moved out of the public square, but control did not disappear. It changed form.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. On to you.
On to me.
You. Yeah, you. Still haunting the same old fast fashion? Time to dig up something better with Back from the Dead Goods, a Canadian small business where forgotten threads get a second life and sustainability meets spooky. This isn't just upcycled clothing. It's resurrected fashion with an eerie edge. Handpicked, reworked, and revived, every piece is as unique as a ghost story whispered at midnight. And because you're a part of the Canadian Creepies family, you get an exclusive deal. Use code Canadian Creepies at checkout for 10% off. Find them lurking on Instagram, Etsy, and Poshmark. Links are in the episode description. Give your wardrobe a second chance at life, if you dare. Hey creeps, it's Valerie here, and if you're anything like us, you love capturing a moment, whether it's spooky, sweet, or somewhere delightfully in between. Let me introduce you to our go-to for stunning shots, darkroom photography, based right here in the heart of the Niagara region. Mel, the brilliant eye behind the lens, is a lifestyle and creative photographer who brings a little bit of magic and maybe a touch of mystery to every session. She's got all her prices listed right on her website, super transparent, no tricks, and she runs killer seasonal specials around Mother's Day, Halloween, Christmas, and more. I'm telling you, her Halloween sessions, creepy perfection. So, if you're in the Niagara area and looking to capture memories that are hauntingly beautiful, hit up Mel at mel@darkroomphotography.ca or check out her work at www.darkroomphotography.ca. That's Darkroom Photography, where your memories come to life, even in the dark.
Support reproductive justice in Niagara. Niagara Reproductive Justice is a grassroots collective based in the Niagara region of Ontario, working to increase visibility and access to sexual and reproductive health care. They support people seeking abortion and other essential care by offering transportation, financial assistance, logistical help, and emotional support. Here's how you can help. You can make a one-time donation. Send an e-transfer to niagarareproductivejustice@gmail.com. Your support helps cover costs like gas for volunteer drivers, overnight stays, childcare, and other urgent needs. You can also support monthly via Patreon. Join their Patreon and support the cause month to month. It's patreon.com/Niagara Reproductive Justice. And you can volunteer your time. NRJ is always looking for volunteers to help with driving, outreach, admin support, and community organizing. If you're looking to make a real impact in the Niagara region, this is a great place to start. Contact them via email or DM them on Instagram or Facebook to learn more. You can find them on Instagram at Niagara Reproductive Justice and on Facebook at Niagara Reproductive Justice. Help amplify access to reproductive care right here in our own backyard. Whether you donate, volunteer, or spread the word, you're a part of the movement.
Looking for your next obsession? The Creators Collective Podcasts is your gateway to the dark, the chilling, and the downright fascinating. We're a community of independent podcasts with one goal: to share the best in true crime, paranormal tales, folklore, and unexplained mysteries. Whether you crave cold cases that won't stay closed, haunted histories that refuse to be forgotten, or stories that make you sleep with the lights on, there's a show waiting for you in the collective. And when you join us, you're not just listening to one podcast. You're stepping into a world of creators who love this stuff as much as you do. Check out the Creators Collective today. Follow the link in our show notes to discover your next favorite podcast. We'll be waiting for you. Let's take a moment during this break to talk about something that matters. Something that doesn't get to be background noise. The Anishinaabe-Moan word, Nikinagana, means we are all related, and we are. But relationship isn't just about words, it's about responsibility. Canadian author Naomi Klein once said, "It is not enough to say that we live on Indigenous land. We have to act as if we do." And one way to do that is by supporting Pay Your Rent, a grassroots mutual aid initiative that offers direct material support to Indigenous organizers across this land. It's not charity, it's rent. For those of us who aren't Indigenous to this place, it's a way to show up differently, to redistribute some of what's been taken. The Pay Your Rent Fund started as a one-time request for help in 2018 and grew into a nonprofit called Nikinagana. Your monthly or one-time donation can help provide food, hygiene supplies, housing support, and resources for Indigenous-led resistance and community care. So if you've ever said, "We're all related," ask yourself, are you being a good relative? Visit payyourrent.ca and find out more about how you can be part of something better. Now, back to this case.
Corporal punishment in law. So this is, I guess, where we started to head. Physical pain was an accepted and intentional part of the punishment under early Canadian law.
Hate that again.
Yeah.
It's crazy that at any
Went from
point in
shame
human
to
evolution,
pain.
we were like, let's hurt each other.
Yeah,
Let's inflict pain on each other.
absolutely.
And then the people who thought that idea, we voted them into power for
That's right.
them and their family into power for centuries.
Yeah, let's
Great.
keep them up there.
And gave them money,
yeah,
all our money.
yeah. Because you know,
Something to think about.
if you break the law, that means I'm just so mad at you. I want to hurt you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do what I personally deem to be
Good Christian values.
good Christian values, you should feel physical pain.
That's right. It was viewed as legitimate, corrective, morally justified.
Wow.
Violence was not considered excessive. It was considered instructive.
Okay.
With mine fists, I will instruct you into morality.
Yeah.
Shape you into a good moral person
Wow. Yeah.
with mine fists. Examples of corporal punishment. Judicial flogging.
Oh my God. So the judge did it instead of everybody else.
That's crazy. That's maybe why he had that little hammer.
Yeah.
Start.
Moved into.
It's a memory of like, hey,
the
we could bring
flogging.
this back to violence if we want.
You don't forget it.
Shush.
It's coming back.
Be quiet. Ordered by courts as a formal sentence, applied to a range of offenses, including theft and moral crimes. Pain was meant to deter future offenses, serve as a visible reminder of state authority.
Well, we all know you're in authority. We pay taxes.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We accept that you have the authority.
Yeah.
You don't have to beat us like some people beat their dogs.
Please don't beat your dogs.
You shouldn't. They don't learn from
They
that.
don't learn from that way.
No, they just get scared of
Don't
you.
put their noses in poo. You're just
You're just making their nose stink.
Yeah, just making their nose stink.
What, you gonna kiss that dog later?
No, don't.
Poop nose?
You'll be a poop face.
Whipping posts.
Time to the whipping post.
Time to the whipping post. My cousin does a good job of that. I don't. Used in many parts of Canada into the 19th century. Crazy.
Whipping post. So that
Whipping posts
is
where?
you're tied to it and you're whipped.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that different than by the public or by? Please continue.
Yeah, punishments were sometimes public.
Just in public.
Yeah, sometimes in public. Reinforce the idea that punishment should be witnessed. So reinforcing the idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Please keep it behind closed doors.
Keep your punishments behind closed doors. No, that's how we got into the DV epidemic we're in now.
Yeah, that's right.
Where are you going?
I'm just scrolling around. Military punishments mirrored in civilian law. Okay. Military discipline relied heavily on physical punishment. These practices...
Still does, I bet.
I don't know.
But don't quote me on that.
I don't...
Punishments. Would push-ups count as a form of physical punishment?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But I just wanted to say, guys, don't clip Valerie. Don't quote Valerie.
Never. Don't. 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 You can quote me when I'm reading from the information that is valid and true.
She will tell you when you can quote her and clip her.
My opinion and jokes, don't, because they're gonna be taken out of context.
Yeah, everyone does that.
Don't let the people on the right take me out of context.
Please, don't let it happen.
I'll get doxxed.
We need you to not let us be doxxed.
Keep me safe, guys. Keep me safe.
Keep Valerie safe.
Keep Valerie safe. Those should be pins. Just kidding. I am a white woman.
Yeah, that's the merch that you guys put out. Is
Keep Valerie safe. Literally, nobody's coming after me.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. How violence became normalized. Corporal punishment was framed as efficient, economical, morally cleansing.
I hate that.
Yeah, I also hate that. Pain was understood as a tool of correction.
Hey, leave a comment if you think pain is a great tool of correction. Don't, because then I don't want you as a listener.
Yeah, agreed. Suffering was believed to reform character. Endurance of pain was linked to obedience and submission.
I hate this.
Interesting. It's very, very kinky of this government.
I was just thinking that. I was like, very BDSM of them.
Very BDSM.
Very BDSM. On the BDSM note, I'm wondering if I should tell
are we
it.
shaming them now?
No, I would never yuck anybody's yum. I'm wondering if I have talked about this. Maybe you remember what I told you, what I found out about the Judas Priest lead singer.
That's right. Yep.
I think because I said BDSM, I'm going to segue into that just so everybody's aware.
Please.
Because I love this. And I may
That's
have said this
tidbit.
before on this podcast. So I was listening to Stuff You Should Know. Great podcast. I listened to the series on heavy metal. And they were talking about Rob Halford. Now, he is the lead singer of Judas Priest, who is like heavily credited as one of like the first heavy metal bands, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like a huge influence for a lot of
Certainly.
heavy metal artists now. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing about Rob Halford is he was also the first guy to like to do like the leather and the studs and all that, like
in heavy metal music.
In heavy metal music.
Yeah.
So when
Leather
you
Daddy.
see, Yeah, he was like a leather daddy. So when you see like all these like men who love heavy metal music and they're in like studs and leather and stuff, that is because of Rob Halford. The thing about Rob Halford, and we love him for this, he's a very gay man. The most gay. He got his style from the BDSM culture in the 70s in like London or something.
Yeah.
Definitely in England. So it's beautifully hilarious to me that so many straight mask men wearing leather jackets and stuff, emulating the Judas Priest image, are actually just like emulating the BDSM image.
Yeah. yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone's like, it's hardcore.
Yeah.
I'm into that hardcore shit.
Oh, are you? You must be in that
Really
outfit.
hardcore.
You must be
Really
with
hard.
those studs.
Yep. Chains.
And but it is also funny.
Metal.
It also is funny when you think about that in the context of like biker groups that are like white supremacists as well. Like jokes on them.
Yeah. Yeah. Played yourself
Not smart enough to
to historically pinpoint.
yeah, to know what you're even doing or emulating.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all very silly and dumb.
Very funny.
And funny. Brutality was justified through religious ideas of penance, social beliefs about discipline and order, colonial authority asserting control over bodies. What was once acceptable brutality now feels shocking. This discomfort highlights how much values have shifted. The question is not why people accepted violence then, but why the system required violence to function. Corporal punishment reveals whose bodies were considered punishable, whose pain was seen as acceptable, and how law used force to maintain hierarchy.
And you can really see how that was like the start of like the systems we live in now, with the 1% being so few and like the middle to low income people being so many, and the divide between like there's almost no middle class anymore. You're either low income or you're not.
Right.
Cough break. Okay. You just did corporal punishment.
I did.
Great. Then I'll move on to capital punishment that feels arbitrary. Yeah. Capital punishment was a legal and accepted outcome in Canada for much of its history. And I think, before I get too into it, I think capital punishment is killing people for their crimes. Because corporal punishment was physical harm
to your corporeal
person.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that
your
we've cleared
corpse.
that up. So capital punishment was a legal and accepted outcome for Canada for much of its history. Execution was framed as lawful, necessary, and a final expression of state authority. Was beating them not enough? Was the whipping post not enough?
Yeah.
We're straight up executing people.
Just killing them.
Like ICE.
Rough.
Fuck ICE, by the way.
Fuck ICE.
Over time, what qualified as capital crime shifted, not always because the harm changed, but because public values did, which we do not have capital punishment in Canada.
No. For good reason.
For good reason. We did have, as hard as that may be, given some of the brutal crimes committed within our country as well.
Right.
So we have mandatory death sentences. Certain crimes automatically carried the death penalty. Judges had little or no discretion. That's dangerous because every situation has nuance.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course it does.
Guilt did not always allow room for context, circumstance, or mental state, and the law prioritized uniform punishment over individual justice. Acts that once led to execution now feel shocking or disproportionate. Property crimes, you could die for that.
Whoa.
Moral offenses,
Okay.
so like witchcraft.
Okay.
Crime shaped by panic or fear rather than harm.
Right.
You panicked and punch someone and now you should die.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good example, but
Who knows?
comment a good example.
Thank you.
These cases highlight how punishment reflected social anxieties and how danger was defined by the state. Don't let the state define danger.
Don't
do it. Executions were rarely immediate. Condemned individuals often waited months or years, and this period was marked by isolation, psychological strain, and uncertainty framed as part of the punishment. Oh, so they didn't even know for sure that they were going to die. That's a mindfuck. Delay was justified as due process and administrative necessity, and in practice, it became an extension of suffering. That's brutal.
Yeah.
So you like stole something from someone to sell it to feed your family, and now you die.
And you're being murdered.
And it's being long and excruciatingly drawn out.
Yeah.
Public opinion, though, see, but you should always never not believe in like the strength in numbers.
Okay.
Because public opinion played a growing role. Discomfort with executions increased over time. Because eventually somebody was like, hey, this is weird. I don't like this.
Yeah.
And pressure mounted for reform or abolition. And then justice slowly shifted from punishment as retribution from punishment as retribution toward punishment as restraint and prevention. Mercy was not distributed equally, though, because why would it be? Factors influencing outcomes included class, race, gender, and public sympathy.
Okay.
Some lives were deemed redeemable, others were not. And capital punishment exposes a central tension: who the law protects and who it is willing to permanently remove.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
You're up.
Yeah. Okay. Punishments that now feel absurd. The goal is not to laugh at suffering. It's to show how law can reflect moral panic, class bias, control of respectability, and whoever had the power to define normal. Fines or sentences that don't match the crime.
Let's hear about them.
Let's hear about them.
I want to know them.
Okay, so punishments sometimes looked absurd because they were designed to. They were designed to make an example out of someone.
I hate that. Like the idea of just any person in a position of power making an example out of anyone. Fucking brutal. That's brutal because not every situation is the same.
Yeah.
Not every situation is the same. And guess what? If all of our systems are bogged down, hire more people.
Yeah.
Hire more people.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Build another courthouse. I don't care.
Of course, yeah. No, it is just, it is
Stop
quite...
tying up the money in bureaucracy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It is brutal. It's brutal to just be like, if anyone else does this kind of thing, this is what happens to you. It's just...
Because...
yeah, it's very, I don't know, authoritarian.
It is authoritarian. And guess what? Someone else is going to do the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Someone else is going to do
Forever.
it. No matter what, someone's going to do it. It's like your kids are going to try drinking.
They're going to do
They're
it,
gonna.
and they're going to just sneak around more.
And I'm someone who doesn't drink, and that terrifies me.
That's right.
But it's an ultimate truth that it's probably going to happen. But you can't criminalize that behavior.
Absolutely. You know, I don't know if this is a fair
because
thing
it's
to say.
behavior that's been modeled for children in our society. Drinking is a sign of adulthood.
Right. Well, there you go. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, I don't know if this is fair to say, but it was pretty common that it was like, I went to public school. Mm-hmm. But it was
Same.
It was always the Catholic school kids that would show up at the party. They were drinking hard.
Oh.
There and I always wondered, I was like, okay, there's more rules and oppression on this other side of things, you know? Is that why? Don't quote me, don't clip me.
Yeah, but that's just an observation.
It's
called an anecdote.
It's called an anecdote. That being said, Though I should also own up that I was drinking heavily all the time too.
That's right.
So what does that tell you about?
That's right. And we
what
don't
I
drink
said?
because we did drink so much. And
I just drank it. There's nothing left.
what's that
I
meme?
drank it all.
What the meme is? We went pro and retired early.
That's the meme.
That's the meme.
And that's what we've done.
I'm going to tell you about it.
Okay. Here comes Valerie telling you about it.
Back in June 19th, 1990, I was born. Just kidding.
You know what?
I exited my mother's womb.
Okay, you know, we'll sum that up in another episode later.
Great. Part 3. That'll be the 6-part series this summer. Valerie's life.
All leading up to that one meme she was about to describe.
Oh my God.
What was I saying? Make an example out of someone. Punish poverty.
Wow. Yeah, let's punish poor people.
Yeah,
but that does
still is
happen.
going on.
That does happen.
And the thing is, like,
as
people,
a person who was on OW.
and people are brainwashed. The people that are like you know, the fucking police.
The
whoop,
police
whoop.
are brainwashed.
They're fucking brainwashed to be like,
It's wrong.
these guys. It's always these sorts, and it's like, well,
like,
why don't
what
you look
do
at the
you
greater
mean?
picture
Yeah.
here? Like,
Help them.
help them.
Help them. Help them not need to call you anymore.
Did you want to be a police officer because you wanted to help people,
Yeah.
or because you want to be a big boy in a big suit,
Big boy in a
boy,
big suit.
big uniform,
Yeah, big boy in a big suit.
push people around?
Big boy in a big suit.
And punish poverty, enforce compliance. Yeah, cringe. A fine can be devastating if you're poor.
Like, I know I died in a
meaning-
past life because I was just,
Yeah,
you know, rebellious.
yeah,
I can feel it in my
I believe it.
body, my bones.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
I probably,
Definitely one of my past lives.
I'm sure I fell off a cliff or something, and that's why I got these huge calves
That's why.
from birth.
Yeah.
I've had these. They're a curse.
Did you come out calves first?
I came out pissing. I know that.
Okay.
Sorry, is that too much? It's the story my family told about me. I came out and I peed all over the doctor and my dad.
That's good.
Should I not share that on here?
That's fine.
You look repulsed.
I'm not. I already knew the story.
Guys, write into Canadian Creepies and tell me if you're repulsed.
Go to speakpipe.com/Canadian Creepies and leave a voice note. Let us know if you're repulsed or not.
And listen, I'm the one that has to filter through all those appointed by Valerie. So, you know, if there's any real bad ones, I'm just going to pretend they didn't happen.
That's right. Because that's better for my mental health that way. That would take away from the mission of the podcast.
Which is just not what I'm here to do.
Yeah,
I'm here to be additive, not subtractive.
that's right.
Some sentences were less about harm caused and more about discouraging behavior the state disliked.
Did you say a fine can be devastating if you're poor?
I think I squeaked that out. Yeah, I tried.
Okay,
I
and
think-
meaningless if you're wealthy. Just in case.
Yeah, I maybe didn't get that part out, but I think I got that
Which
part.
is true now. Like, think about speeding tickets and stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, a speeding ticket for us would be like, "Ugh," but a person who's affluent would be like, meh,
That's right.
speed again tomorrow.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'll get my car to the impound. Beep. We'd be
Yeah.
like, well, we'd have to start a
Yeah.
GoFundMe to get a car to the impound.
We just be walking.
Yeah.
In various
After
eras,
midnight.
ordinary actions would be criminalized when they threatened. Wait, hold on. In various eras, ordinary actions could be criminalized when they threatened public order, moral reputation, or authority figures. All this stuff is still.
I'm
a
dead.
thing. You're done. You're done for.
I'm done. I'm out. Just
I
like I'm
might
never
be-
allowed under the Donald Trump regime. I'm never allowed in the States. They'll take one look at my phone. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, we just can't go to the States anymore.
I'm just, nope.
That's fine.
Disneyland, Japan.
Hey,
Sponsor me.
I've been trying to get us to
I
Japan.
know, we should do that.
Yes.
Gotta
Every
go to
day
Mexico first.
I want to eat Japanese food in Japan. Everyday behavior often became illegal when it was linked to working class life, public gathering, dissent, leisure seen as idle or improper.
Oh my God.
I'm screwed.
Yeah, we're
Damn,
yeah.
so screwed.
You better, as a bard, you better be singing, and
Yeah.
any breaks will be monitored.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. That'd be crazy. Yeah, I guess I'd be a bard, wouldn't I? So I'd be all right, maybe.
Yeah.
The weirdness isn't accidental. It shows what society was anxious about at the time.
Just differences.
Yeah.
Just general differences in folks.
Right.
They were like, no.
No, they wanted to wrangle in this wily population of
Like women. People of color.
People that are poor.
Artists.
That outnumber them because they
Gay
have hoarded all the
people.
wealth.
You know.
Those things you just said.
But then use those people for entertainment.
Yeah.
Like they get so bored with all their money, they're like, well, now I need a bard to sing to me and a painter to paint me.
Yeah.
But they'll be shackled to the fucking ground while they do it.
That's right.
And then they'll go back down in the dungeon where they'll live.
Yeah.
Just completely leeching artists of their resources internally.
And lives.
And lives and souls.
Essence. Artist essence. They're like the Skeksis.
The Skeksis.
From Dark Crystal. Those
Yeah.
big and weird.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Wow. Okay, I'm picturing the Skeksis now. Moral offenses punished more harshly than violence. Okay. Historically, some laws treated morality like public safety, especially around sexuality, gender roles, and social reputation.
You would be arrested for doing the dishes.
Damn it. They'll never get done.
No. I'll be arrested for not doing the dishes.
Wow. You don't have to, though. It's fine. And what about cooking? Can I cook?
No, I have to cook everything.
They're not gonna let me cook.
No, I have to do it all.
Those freaking cookies that I got in the freezer right now?
No.
Tell me I can't have those?
No.
Damn. What if I just cook a hunk of meat over an open fire? Is that
I think
acceptable?
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
From a beast that I
A beast you hunted.
I hunted and took down
That was
with
just
my
like a
own
big
bare
dog or
hands.
something at that point in history. It's like a wild dog.
Yeah, a warg.
A wolf or something.
This creates the unsettling pattern where personal behavior gets punished hard,
Ugh.
while real harm may be treated more lightly. Not good. Key point for listeners. I probably didn't have to say that, did
That's
I?
okay.
Okay, we'll edit that out.
You don't. Just leave it.
What a society punishes tells you what it fears
That's right.
and what it tolerates. Valerie's using force magic on me.
That's right. It's my turn now.
Oh, okay.
Gendered and moral punishments. This is the section I know you've all been waiting for.
Yep.
Punishment under Canadian law was not applied evenly. Gender played a significant role in who was punished, how harshly, and for what kinds of behavior. Women were often punished more severely for offenses tied to morality rather than harm.
Mm-hmm.
Moral crimes included sexual behavior,
Okay.
perceived promiscuity.
See, that's it. That's a toughie right there.
Oh.
Perceived?
Yeah.
Who's doing the perceiving? Jealous boys.
Exactly. Defiance of gender roles and behavior seen as improper or disruptive to social order. These punishments were less about public safety and more about enforcing femininity, obedience, and respectability.
Yeah.
Just let people be people.
Just let people be people.
Because the people who want to be feminine and take up those roles are naturally going to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
That's just it.
And they're going to find
filter
the people
themselves.
who, we all find the people for us. You don't have to make everybody be like you.
Well, what is even the incentive to force people to apply to a gender stereotype or a role? Like, what is it? There's not going to be a lack of those roles being filled by people.
But it's because the person who wants that thinks their life will be easier if everybody just does what they think is best.
Right now, they got a guy's doing the laundry, and then the woman's cut. Like, this is too much.
This is too much. Even though in my household, my wife does everything. Canadian law historically regulated women's bodies and choices through criminalization of abortion and reproductive control, laws policing sexuality and sexual reputation, and vague offenses tied to improper conduct or indecency. These laws gave authorities broad discretion, allowing personal bias to shape enforcement. We love it. Just like the unfounded right.
I realize that as we're going through all this, I'm just like immediately applying it to like the States and what is happening there now.
But it's also happening here now.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you. Surveillance of women's behavior was normalized, particularly for poor, unmarried, indigenous, and racialized women. Wow, I made it through that sentence.
You did great.
Sentences were often influenced. Now we're going to talk about respectability politics in sentencing. So sentences were often influenced by how respectable someone appeared, based on their marital status, class, race, and conformity to social expectations. Does she wear pants? Etc. Women who fit idealized roles were more likely to receive leniency and sympathy. So white women. Women who did not were framed as dangerous, immoral, and in need of correction. Women of color and indigenous women. Who was considered dangerous? Behavior seen as threatening included sexual independence. Oh no! Refusal of domestic roles and visibility in public spaces. Sorry for existing. I was just going grocery shopping. My bad.
Back into my hole.
Law treated these behaviors as risks to social order, even when no direct harm occurred. Women are 51% of the population, by the way. So whose behavior was more excused? Male behavior was more frequently minimized, excused, and reframed as a lapse rather than a threat. Because at this time, also, like, beating your wife was normal as well. Violence could be contextualized, while women's morality was criminalized. And this imbalance reveals a core truth. The law did not simply punish actions, it punished deviation from prescribed roles.
Indigenous and colonial punishments.
Whoa.
Punishment in Canada was not applied neutrally. It was used deliberately as a tool of colonization.
You got it. Sorry.
You. No, that was good. Colonial law functioned to assert authority over Indigenous peoples, dismantle existing legal, social, and cultural systems, replace them with imposed European norms.
Yeah, that's what colonization is, friends.
Yeah, good summary of that there. Law is a tool of control. Canadian legal systems were imposed without consent. That's an important thing to just note and to think about.
Yeah, like we said, somebody in England gifted someone else land in Canada and said, "Go do with it as you wish."
Yeah, but you shouldn't have done that.
No,
they shouldn't have done that.
That wasn't okay.
There was no consent, and that's just the big thing, right? Because there are still people now in Canada that are like, "What's the big deal? That was forever ago." Like, relax about these indigenous. It's like, no,
don't relax about it.
Don't
relax about it, because it caused a snowball effect for Indigenous and racialized people in Canada.
That's right, and it still hasn't gotten better.
It hasn't, and we have systems built around these initial rules.
That's right. There was already something here.
Yeah.
There was already stuff going on here.
Yeah. Guess what? The Indigenous folks that were here were fine.
They were fine.
Didn't need our help.
Didn't need anything.
And if we thought they did need help, we could have just asked them.
That's right.
Do you need our help? Can you share the land with us? And if they said no, you should have just left.
That's right.
After you learn their language, and we're very grateful for all their customs and traditions. Thank you.
Indigenous legal orders were ignored, undermined, actively criminalized.
Brutal.
crazy. Punishment was used to enforce obedience to colonial authority, assimilation into settler society, compliance with imposed values. Imposed values.
Imposed values.
You must be obedient to our imposed values.
I hate
Brutal.
I hate it.
Criminalization of culture, ceremony, and survival. Valerie told me, by the way, before we started this, that this was going to be a light episode.
I liked her episode. Look, it's not a Canadian Creepies episode if I don't tie in Indigenous history somehow, somewhere.
Absolutely.
I feel.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Thank you.
Indigenous cultural practices were treated as crimes.
Horrible, bad, awful, should never have been a thing.
Bad. So that's talking about ceremonies, gatherings, and any sort of spiritual expression. Survival strategies were often criminalized. So hunting and fishing, hunting and fishing outside imposed regulations.
Yeah, and even if you're vegan and or PETA or whatever, Indigenous people have the right to hunt and fish. End of story.
That's right.
End of story. You and your white saviorism does not get to dictate practices that have been on this land. And you don't know, just I'm going to stop there.
But no, really good.
Stop
good
while I'm ahead.
So other survival strategies that were often criminalized. So like movement across traditional lands.
So that would be moving from like between Canada and the States.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, which is crazy to make that criminal. Imagine that. Imagine like just a whole sort of area where you were used to living forever, generations. And then all of a sudden
there's an imaginary border there now.
Yeah. And it's illegal for you to do so and you're incarcerated or punished publicly.
What the hell?
Crazy. Resistance to confinement or past systems.
Yeah.
These laws did not respond to harm. They created it.
They created harm. They created harm.
That's a good jingle about that specific thing.
Thank you. Oh my God. They won't hear that, so they'll just hear me go, oh my God.
I played the piano that's plugged in only to our ears.
Scared the jump scale.
LOL. Sorry. Sorry for the jump scale. Punishment beyond the courts. Legal punishment extended beyond formal sentencing. So imprisonment, forced relocation, child removal.
That's when we talk about residential schools.
Systems of punishment work together. So courts, police, residential, and day schools.
Got ahead of myself.
That's all right. You're right. You are correct. Law reinforced colonial goals through everyday enforcement.
Yeah, don't ever call me right. I'm a leftist.
Nice. Dang. Don't ever call her right, y'all.
No. I'm never trying to be right.
She ain't never trying to be right. She's left.
That's right.
These were not weird laws. They were not accidental. They were not misguided attempts at order. These laws were intentional, strategic, designed to erase culture and autonomy. Punishment was not a side effect of colonization. It was one of its primary mechanisms. This section is not about historical curiosity. It's about recognizing how law was used to harm and how those harms continue to echo.
They do. I'm on 9, right?
You're on 9.
Okay. So when the punishment becomes the crime, not all harm caused by punishment was incidental. In many cases, punishment itself became the source of long-term trauma, injury and death, and generational harm, as we have discussed. These outcomes were often treated as unfortunate, unavoidable,
womp womp,
or legally irrelevant. Wow.
Okay.
That sucks.
That does suck.
Some punishments caused physical and psychological damage that outlasted the sentence and permanently altered lives. Trauma did not end when the punishment ended. It followed people back into their communities. It shaped families and future generations. Hey, your granddaddy was the one that was in the stocks that one time, right? Like that, because we're Southern. Southern Ontarian would have been a real accent and situation.
Right.
Incarceration, corporal punishment, and forced separation produced chronic fear, loss of trust in institutions, and lasting mental and emotional harm. I imagine it would.
Yes, of course it would.
And sometimes the punishment resulted in death. Death was not always the stated goal, but it was sometimes the outcome. So there was neglect, abuse, and harsh conditions because there would have been like no running water or anything.
Yeah.
And people,
Quite harsh.
People just would have gotten infections and gone septic and ugh. So neglect, abuse, and harsh conditions led to, and like probably eating moldy, gross food and contaminated water. Neglect, abuse, and harsh conditions led to illness, injury, and premature death. These deaths were rarely framed as failure of the system. They were absorbed into it. So if somebody went to jail, you didn't know if they were ever coming back.
Yeah.
And when it came to generational harm, punishment extended beyond individuals, affecting families and communities. Children grew up shaped by parental incarceration, forced removal, and stigma attached to punishment. And I would argue as well that children still grow up this way.
Yeah.
Indigenous families are disproportionately affected by the foster care system.
Yeah.
People of color. You know,
Absolutely.
so this is something that continues to this
still
day.
Going on. Yeah.
And harm became cyclical.
Yeah.
Punishment created the conditions for further punishment. At a certain point, punishment stops serving justice. It becomes vengeance, control, and abandonment. And this raises a critical question. At what point does punishment itself become the crime? And once that line is crossed, who is accountable and who decides it never was? And that's a good, like, going back to ICE.
Right.
The parallels with today are wild.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not that much different, and that's why it's so upsetting what is going on.
Right? Yeah.
Because it's just like, look where this leads to. Look what this behavior is.
And I chose this
akin to-
topic like last year.
Well, yeah. Ye old history repeating itself.
Yeah.
So modern echoes talking about, what talking about. Laws evolve, language softens, and punishments change form, but the underlying philosophy of punishment often lingers. Many modern systems still prioritize control, deterrence, removal over prevention, care, repair.
I would also argue that like
I
modern
read that weird.
No, it's removal over prevention, care, and repair.
Gotcha.
By saying many modern systems still prioritize that, like in saying control, deterrence, and removal over prevention, care, and repair, I would say that's modern day employment.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
That's a corporate job or a Walmart or
absolutely.
McDonald's.
Don't disobey or you're out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mandatory minimums. Mandatory minimum sentencing echoes earlier ideas of uniform punishment. These laws limit judicial discretion. Context matters less. Circumstance matters less.
And context and circumstance should just always matter. We should just have the time to take those things into consideration.
That should just be part of the system.
Just hire more fucking people.
Yeah.
The many qualified people.
Yeah. Are we looking?
Make it easier for immigrants who are lawyers from other countries to practice law here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Let them stop driving Uber.
Right. Yeah. They're
That's a
way more
stereotype,
qualified. Yeah.
But I take Uber a lot.
Yeah, you do. I've
Lawyers,
taken some too.
doctors, I've
That's
met.
it. Yeah, you're
Nurses.
talking to people that have full,
Teachers, professors.
professions that we could use here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're forced to drive Ubers because they get turned away.
Yeah, brutal.
Outcomes often mirror older patterns, disproportionate harm to marginalized communities. Punishment detached from rehabilitation. Historical punishments, mandatory minimums emphasize certainty over fairness and severity over nuance.
Brutal.
Over-policing of marginalized groups. Policing continues to reflect historical patterns of control. Racialized communities, indigenous peoples, poor and unhoused individuals. Surveillance and enforcement are not evenly distributed. Certain behaviors are tolerated in some communities, criminalized in others. This is not a new problem. It is a continuation of earlier legal priorities. Public shaming in modern forms. Public punishment did not disappear, it transformed. Modern shaming includes media exposure, online harassment, permanent digital records. Like historical spectacle, modern shaming discourages nuance, it rewards outrage, punishes without pathways to repair. The audience has changed, but the mechanics remain familiar. Connecting past and present. The same questions persist. Who is punished more harshly? Who is protected? Who is forgiven? Modern justice systems will still wrestle with punishment versus accountability, deterrence versus harm reduction, control versus care. Understanding historical punishment helps explain why some systems resist reform and why certain harms repeat.
Yeah.
Just a pile of good info.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I should get on a pin. Okay.
Okay. Keep Valerie safe.
Canada's history of punishment complicates the image of a consistently gentle or fair nation. The kind country myth doesn't hold up when examined alongside public shaming, sanctioned violence, unequal enforcement, and punishment used as control. Justice systems do not exist in a vacuum. They reflect societal values, collective fears, and who holds power at any given moment. The question this episode asks is not, how weird were these laws? The real questions are, who did these punishments protect? Who did they harm? Who was considered redeemable? And who was treated as disposable? Many of these punishments are gone in name, but their logic remains. Control, shame, and exclusion did not disappear. They adapted. Looking back is not about moral superiority. It's about responsibility. Understanding the past helps us see what we normalized, what we excused, and what we allowed to continue. Looking back isn't about judging the past. It's about recognizing what we carried forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well said.
Ready for Creep of the Week?
Yeah.
Woo!
I know where to put it.
Yeah.
Creep of the Week.
Creep of the Week. For this week's Creep of the Week, we're not naming a murderer, a cult leader, or someone operating outside the law. We're naming a judge.
Order. Sorry.
Matthew Begbie was a colonial magistrate and judge in British Columbia in the mid-1800s, during a period when British law was being rapidly imposed across the region. This was a time of gold rushes, territorial expansion, and intense anxiety about maintaining order in what colonial authorities saw as an unstable frontier. Begbie is often remembered by his nickname, the Hanging Judge,
Oh, geez.
because of the number of death sentences he handed down during his career. And
What a legacy.
Now, shouldn't there be a cap on that?
You would think.
You would think.
Yeah.
If you're just execute, you should be like, well,
A little kill happy, this guy.
yeah. And while that nickname tends to dominate the conversation, it actually risks missing the more unsettling truth. Begbie did not operate outside the legal system. He was not a rogue actor. He was enforcing the law exactly as it existed at the time.
Yeah. Crazy.
Capital punishment, corporal punishment, and severe sentencing were all legal tools available to him. They were considered necessary. They were justified as maintaining order. And in many cases, they were applauded by colonial authorities as evidence of firmness and moral clarity. Wow. What matters is not just the punishment themselves, but who they fell on. Indigenous people were disproportionately targeted and punished under colonial law. Poor settlers, laborers, and anyone deemed disorderly or threatening to colonial authority were far more likely to face harsh sentences. Respectability mattered, power mattered, and mercy was unevenly distributed. Begbie is sometimes defended in historical accounts as being more fair-minded than other judges of his era. And that may be true, but that defense actually underscores the problem.
Yeah.
Because even at his most restrained, the system he operated within still relied on violence, coercion, and exclusion. Even when he showed discretion, the law itself remained deeply punitive and unequal.
Yeah. Of course it did.
Begbie didn't invent this system. He didn't question it either.
Yeah.
And that's why he fits this episode so closely. The creep here isn't that Matthew Begbie was uniquely cruel. The creep is that the punishments he handed down were legal, normalized, and understood as justice. This wasn't chaos, it was order. And when punishment is routine, sanctioned, and carried out in the name of morality and control, it becomes harder to see where justice ends and harm begins.
Yeah.
That's what makes this unsettling. Not the spectacle and not the nickname, but the quiet fact that this was how the law worked and who it worked against.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a good argument for, speaking out if you feel something is wrong.
Speak out. Yeah,
Speak
totally. And that brings us to the end of this episode. You can follow Canadian Creepies on Instagram. You can follow Radio Valerie on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. And did I say YouTube?
I think so.
Also, email us, CanadianCreepiesPodcast@gmail.com. Or if you want to verbally share your story, nominate a Creep of the Week, share a hometown horror, you can go to speakpipe.com/Canadian Creepies. Yeah. And why don't you plug the Lems?
Oh, we plugged the Lems.
So we'll remind people, where can the Feverish Lemons be found? They've listened to a whole episode since then.
Well, okay, so my band, The Feverish Lemons, our music can be found on Spotify, Apple Music, all those places.
Follow on Instagram,
Follow
Facebook.
us on Instagram, Facebook.
You can see where they're playing. If you're local to Niagara Falls or the Niagara region.
That's right.
Or playing. Toronto. Some people come from the States even.
It's true. People do. And we are recording an album and hope to have it out, at least some singles, maybe by the spring. So
that'd be great. All right, creeps, thanks for listening, and don't let the bad creeps bite.
Don't do it.
Bye.